it's just shocking to me as a former, very long-term government employee that a government municipality in the state of California would take such a blind eye to this request by senior citizens living on fixed income to not truly and honestly entertain our offer. My name is Mary Currie, and I've been residing in California for about 40 years now. Most recently, I moved 5 years ago here to the Marin Valley Mobile Country Club. I had a home here in Marin County, California. I didn't want to continue paying the very high property taxes that we pay here in Marin County, and I needed to access some additional funds to support my mom in her assisted living expenses. I have 4 friends that live here in Marin Valley Mobile Country Club, so I started spending some time over here. And lo and behold, the home that I'm in came on the market and was in contract the next day. My favorite thing about the community is the people that I've met in the years that I've been here. There's such a diversity and range of, I'd say, characters here. I've just loved meeting so many different people from so many different walks of life. Everyone here is really interesting, well-educated, and pretty amazing group of people. The moment that I experienced that shows what this community means to me was in June of 2023. We as a community had just learned that the city of Novato, who owns this land that we are on, was entertaining an offer from a private for-profit mobile home developer, an offer of $30 million, and it was being entertained by the city. And we learned that at a city council meeting that we had gone to talk about our budget. What really struck me about this community and made me very passionate about the fight to own our own land was how the community residents responded with such adamant, fierce compassion to not let the city sell this property to this private developer. And I happened to get very involved right then and there because I have a background in government and I understand how government works. And I went to our very first community meeting, and residents were pretty riled up, and the sentiment was we have to go yell at the city at the next council meeting. And I stepped up and took the lead, essentially, and said, no, that's not the approach. We need to go to city council meetings organized, with organized speakers, with themes and speaking points. So I spent the next 6 months organizing all of the attendance at the city council meetings. I was very involved for 2023. I got on the board in 2024 and worked on this project through 2025. And then I've since dropped out, and I'm a background advisor now. And I give assistance on the news media side because that's my former career. And what happened was I got really ill. I was so stressed out that I couldn't do it anymore at the level I was doing it. I was probably working 30 to 40 hours a week at times on this fight. When I purchased here 5 years ago, I really didn't know what the arrangement was with the land upon which my home sits. I knew that I didn't own the land. I knew that it was owned by the city of Novato, but no one disclosed when I moved in that there was a loan that we were paying off on behalf of the city of Novato to own this land. The city took the loan, and we, the residents, through our rents, have been paying that loan. I learned that there'd been several attempts by residents over the years, in 1997, and then again around 2010-11, to purchase the land from the city, and that the city would not let the residents buy the land. The first time in 1997, the residents weren't able to get financing. So that's when the city of Novato actually got involved. The residents reached out and asked the city to get involved, and the city took the loan. In 1997, it was an intent was communicated verbally to residents that when the loan was paid off in 2027, coming up next year, that the land would then be turned over to the residents. I found that to be, like, in my gut, that was the right thing. Here are the residents, their rents are being collected, they're paying off this loan. The city stepped in to help the residents because they couldn't afford the financing, and it made perfect sense that the land should revert to the residents who had been paying off this loan all these years. But the city won't even acknowledge that or consider it, or even admit that there was intention set in 1997 to turn the land over to the residents. It's very curious because the city's own housing element, which is a contract with the state of California that each city has to have about housing and developing affordable housing. In that, the Marin Valley Mobile Country Club is listed, and there's a statement in there that says everything above our operating expenses is to be put into reserves for our capital improvements. Yet the city seems to not acknowledge this document they have with the contract that they have with the state of California. They don't acknowledge that every dime is ours and it should be in capital reserves for us. And their response time to our capital improvements has been appalling. It's taken 4 years for them to start on a new roof for the clubhouse that's been leaking for 4 years. And by having to wait, the cost has tripled, and the damage to walls and other parts of the clubhouse has increased because of having to wait. So in short, they're terrible landlords. The impression that the city gives is that they see us as a cash cow, in that when the loan is paid off next year in 2027, the money that we are now paying for that loan, it's a little over $1 million a year, will go into the city coffers instead of being set aside in reserves for capital improvements, which technically it's supposed to be set aside for us and not for the city to be able to put into their general fund. So there's no proof that that's their intention, but that's the only reason we can come up with as to why they would not sell this land to us, is that they see us as a cash cow. And the city of Novato has been fiscally in a mess for years. They were 5 years behind in their audits. They're not well run, and they're looking for a dollar anywhere they can get it. And if they can get it off the backs of a bunch of wonderful senior citizens, they don't care. They're going to get it. I have some other investments, but it's pretty crucial. It's a pretty large chunk of my portfolio, if you will, and it's a value to me, an asset to me that's important, very important. I think it's somewhere around 90% of residents here are low income, low and lower and below income. They're low income and lower. People are living on fixed incomes, as I am. And it's crucial at this age and this stage in our lives that we have security in knowing, what's our rent going to be? What is our future going to look like? Is it stable? Is it sustainable? Is the city going to try to sell us again? Right now, because we're so actively trying to buy this place, we're doing that to be secure in our financial investments here, because with the city, we are not. And they have caused us to collectively, as residents, most of which are low income, we've collectively raised funds to have an attorney helping us. And I would guess that we're somewhere in the $300,000 range of what we've paid attorneys. And it's just shocking to me, as a former, very long-term government employee, that a government municipality in the state of California would take such a blind eye to this request by senior citizens living on fixed income to not truly and honestly entertain our offer. The city has continually looked the other way. To not be transparent and to what seems like lead us down a primrose path with no intention of selling to us is just beyond dishonest and appalling, and really, truly, to me, unbelievable. What it means to myself and to my fellow residents is that we have no secure future. There's no way to go to sleep at night knowing that we might not get sold tomorrow. And the city has indicated that they would assure that we would not get sold. However, city councils change, and it would take state legislation to say that we could never be sold. And a cute little city resolution, whereas whatever, we couldn't be sold, is not sufficient. So in not letting the land transfer to us, or even letting us purchase it, either way, we're left with a really insecure future as seniors who just want to live in an affordable way and have a sustainable future, knowing where we are and that we can afford to move forward with capital improvements and such, and continue to live in this very special community.